So going into the legislative session that starts next week, you're going to be the chairman of the elections committee. What are some of your legislative goals in that leadership role now?
So, and this is another place where kind of the Homeland Security experience that I have and my, the role I have teaching is carried over into the legislature. The speaker, I was honored to be asked to serve as the elections chair because, election security and cybersecurity, there's a lot of overlap with Homeland Security, and so I think that's a big part of the reason I was asked. I've been very, very troubled by the rhetoric around the 2020 elections and now the 2022 elections, and how one side is absolutely unwilling to engage in the conversation and just completely dismissive of the other side. I concur that there are folks that are pretty far out there on their theories about what's going on in the elections realm, and I don't agree with every theory that's out there about what's going on with elections, but all of them are founded. They start with things that are wrong with election security, like elections going on for a week or weeks after the election's over, and ballots continuing to be counted after the election day is over. The lack of any standards for ballot drop boxes. Some of them are right next to a police station. They're watched all day. Some of them are sitting out in the middle of nowhere and nobody's watching them. There's no standards. And so a lot of these concerns, even if they are far afield, they start with real and legitimate concerns. And I think it's very destructive. I think it's very destructive of our form of government when one side is making legitimate, it has legitimate concerns about the security of our election, and the other side is like, oh, you're a nut, you're a conspiracy theorist, and completely dismissive, doesn't want to hear about it. And what that does is it creates this negative feedback loop where people on the side that have concerns become less and less confident that their vote and the votes of the people reflect the results of the election, or reflected in the results of the election. And so we've got to find places where we can address those legitimate concerns and better secure our elections without making it, without creating an undue burden for voters. There are a lot of places where we can make changes that will make our elections more secure, improve confidence, which is a legitimate positive policy outcome, improving confidence in the results of our elections without creating an undue burden on voters. And that's the things I'm going to be looking for, and the solutions that I'm going to be trying to get out of our committee and onto the floor for the House to vote on.